Good morning, namaste. I hope you had an excellent series of holidays from solstice through Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever holidays your family embraces, whatever fits into your tradition. I hope that they've been wonderful, albeit different. So it's Sunday, even if it doesn't feel quite like it. I've had to ask several times this week, what day is this? So it is Sunday, Sacred Sunday Sadhana, and today we're going to talk about lessons as blessings, challenges as blessings. But before we do, just take a minute and get what you need. Get some tea, light a candle. Just get ready to really honor yourself and give yourself just even a little bit of alone time. And not just alone time, but really just sacred internal reflection. Take some deep breaths into your belly, into your lower back. Remember that when you breathe into the front of your body, you're activating this forward motion. And in most of us, that kind of stays activated all the time. These SEM muscles are doing the forward head thing, and we're just kind of there, suspended toward the future. But when you breathe into your back body, you kind of allow yourself to really arrive in the present moment and also lean on your ancestors. So just practice that, breathing fully into your belly, and see when you do that, can you also breathe into your lower back? Breathe into your entire spine and actually let yourself just be in your spine. Can you exist in your spine instead of right here, instead of just right here? Bring some awareness into your spine. And sometimes that just means, like, what do you notice? What are the sensations back there? But then also there's a way you can almost like put your Vijnanamaya kosha, put your wisdom body, your witness body in your back body. And it's no surprise that behind us is where our ancestral support lies. So those who have come before you that are no longer here, they are here. They're not on the physical plane, but they're behind you, supporting you. So once you've breathed into your space and you're ready, it seems like after Christmas, after we spend time with family, at least traditionally, perhaps this year you weren't able to, and then this is still going to be a good practice for you, I believe. But families have a way of triggering us like no other. And so I want to preempt this whole talk by saying and reminding you that it's my belief that you chose to be here at this particular time on the planet with these particular circumstances, including who you were born to. So from the astral plane, I subscribe to the theory that our souls have chosen who to surround ourselves with, just based on the lessons that we specifically need to learn and the character that we specifically need to build in order to accomplish this life mission. So even if you look around at your family, your parents in particular, but certainly your siblings as well, and you might think, why would I have chosen them? Or maybe you don't. Maybe you're like, heck yeah, I chose them. These are my people. These are my best friends. And some families are very naturally friendly and close. And then others are close in different ways. And yet others, there's a lot of pain and a lot of struggle, both in the past and current, or just in the past. But it's important to remember that you chose it. And not to berate yourself, not beating yourself up for choosing it, but just kind of getting curious, like, why? What do I need from this? And so, with that said, I just wanted to talk today about the lessons that come from certain challenges. And, can you remember a time when, let's say you were walking out the door to go somewhere, and then the dishwasher flooded into the kitchen and you had to take care of that, and so you ended up leaving about 20 minutes later, and then you avoided some wreck or some big thing. For me, I've never had that happen with my dishwasher, but I've had experiences where with my little babies many years ago, we would be about to go somewhere and we were like cutting it close to the minute, and then they would have a poopy explosion. And, it would just take about 20 minutes, maybe even more than the dishwasher, to clean it all up and get all dressed again and ready and go. And what I learned, and what you've probably learned from those experiences is there's a reason. Like, there's a reason that you get held up, and then you can be grateful, like, oh my gosh, thank goodness for that poopy explosion, because I missed the 10-car pileup on the highway right where I would have been had I left 20 minutes earlier. Or sometimes it's not 20 minutes, sometimes it's 1 minute. At any rate, you know the concept I'm talking about. So one of the great masters that I've studied with, and I really don't know who, they all kind of blend together as one guru in my mind, but someone said that, I think it might have been Timber Hawkeye from Buddhist Boot Camp. Can you be grateful for a challenge while it's happening? Knowing that there is a reason that everything happens. What if you are able to kind of bypass the stage where you're angry or frustrated or just like, so livid, conflicted, scared, sad, any of the things that come up for you when an unexpected situation happens. What if instead we kind of bypass that and just realize, like, wait, there's a reason for this. There's a reason for this. There's a reason for this. And then Darren Wallman, my shaman / didgeridoo teacher, reminds me to feel it to heal it, and to be grateful for the feelings, negative and positive. So as soon as I moved into the house where I currently live, the downstairs toilet overflowed. Not once, but twice. And this was days after we had moved in. So there were boxes of our stuff everywhere. We have hardwood floors. Someone else's poopy water. It's even different if it's your own family, but this was like the family before us. Poop sewage water just came flowing out of the bathroom and filled up half of my downstairs. It soaked into some of the boxes. It was a mess, and I didn't lose my mind. I was actually so happy to be where I am, to be in this house, that I was able to remember that lesson from Timber Hawkeye. And while I was cleaning it, mopping up with my feet, with bleach, while I was doing that, I was saying with every shimmy of my foot, on the towel to clean up the mess, I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for this experience. I'm grateful for this experience. And sometimes you're not even going to know instantly why the thing had to happen. I think for me at that time, that needed to happen metaphorically to get all the shit out of the way. But then also, I think I just needed to be grateful for all the days when that doesn't happen. And but at any rate, it wasn't really that big of a deal. And I know at different times in my life, if that would have happened, it would have just escalated me to the point of throwing stuff and yelling and just really creating a lot of internal heat for myself. But I was able to not do that. So even that is easier than being in a situation with a family member that's really hard. That's really, or maybe it's not a family member, maybe it's your significant other, but just kind of like being in that zone of contempt and not awkwardness, but just like dissatisfaction. It's like this fog. What if, even in the midst of that, honoring what you're feeling, what if then you can also be grateful? Like, okay, thank you for this feeling. Thank you for this feeling. Darren Wellman, who I mentioned earlier, he doesn't actually say to say it. He wants you to sing it. Thank you for this feeling. And, you know, it's kind of hard to do in the moment, but once you do it, it seems kind of ridiculous, and it kind of reminds you that everything is not as important as it seems, and it's just a moment, it's just a feeling. You honor the feeling, you sit with it, and then maybe there's even a way you can open the next door to, this is going to serve us well. This is going to serve me well. And I don't know why or how, but I am grateful in this moment, even in this moment of discomfort, I'm grateful for what it's going to bring. And so I'm grateful right now. I hope that made sense. That just came to me yesterday. I also want to talk about sleep just a little bit. In Chinese medicine, we call content and peace and mental health and the opposite of all those things, anxiety and being riled up and having insomnia and even mania, all of that is Shen, S-H-E-N. And one of our professors likes to say that the Shen is a bird that lives in the nest, and the nest is the heart. So the Shen lives in the heart, in the nest. And when the nest is ruffled, the bird leaves the nest, and then the bird is just chaotic and going everywhere. So really to develop this soft, open, warm, lovely, clean, nurturing heart is the way to settle the Shen. And I know for me, I've been having trouble sleeping for so long that I don't really remember when I wasn't having trouble sleeping, but I do know that this bird analogy has really helped me, so I'm just going to share it in case you're having trouble sleeping. The more that you can do to just kind of massage your energetic heart. I'm not talking about the blood pump here. I'm talking about your sense of gratitude, your sense of compassion, your sense of forgiveness. Those are the 3 avenues to love. Like, just the more loving and the more peace you can create in your heart, the more you can observe saucha, cleanliness of your spirit, just like releasing things that don't serve you anymore, keeping your body fueled well with good food, getting adequate rest, and moving your body with exercise, just creating the perfect nest. Then the troubled mind and the anxious mind and all the worry and all the insomnia and all the things, the bird just starts to settle back in. So the Shen comes back to the heart, the bird comes back to the nest. And I think a lot of times for me, and maybe you're the same, when I get in a place of high anxiety, I try to think my way through it. I act like somehow I'm going to be able to solve the problem in my mind. But you can't solve a problem where the problem was created. And it usually is the monkey mind that's creating all the havoc and just running amok. So to calm the Shen, you don't get into the Shen and try to control it. Control is a word I think that people use. I think people use the word control a lot, and it's an illusion. That's my opinion of the word control. We really don't have control of anything except our breath. We don't get to control. But so what we can do, instead of trying to like focus, like when you're doing a meditation, you have a one-pointed focus and you have great concentration, it's not because your mental discipline is so strong that you've controlled it down into one part. It's not like you've distilled this one piece of information by your sheer force of focus. It's actually the opposite. It's kind of like, okay, I'm opening to the fact that the mind is just going to keep going, but I want to have a single pointed focus. So I'm not going to be able to figure it out here. I'm going to have to defer to the heart, to the emperor. That's also from Chinese medicine. I need to defer to the emperor and let the emperor open me. Let the emperor get focused. So again, it all just starts in the heart. Your intention comes from here, not here. So this illusion of control, it just serves to create more and more disturbance of the shin. And the bird's not going to come back to the nest until you just work on the nest, open the nest, soften the nest, flood the nest with compassion, with grace, with gratitude, with forgiveness. And then the bird starts to resettle. I've been having better and better sleep lately, but as empaths, you're probably feeling this too. There's so much going on in the world that I feel it all, I bet you're feeling it all if you're an empath. And so I'm not just holding my own shin, I feel like I'm like this vessel for other people's stuff too. And so there needs to be like a grounding process where I let go of what's not mine. And I even let go of what is mine. Just notice that it's there, move on, let go. And let the shen get calmer and return to that love nest. I hope that's helpful. I hope it made sense. I'm just going to stay in pajamas all day and drink good things and maybe tidy up a bit and study for Chinese medicine. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next week. Namaste.